Greetings, families. Welcome back. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If this is your first time, my name is Mamri and you are very welcome. This video is about Africa. The CEDEAO. I have to look at it. It's long abbreviation. Ecowas. Yes, the Minister of Agriculture to Senegal has spoken. He spoke from his heart, as he said. And you can tell that he did spoke from his heart. He said he wants to speak like an African because sometimes as a minister, they will write a statement for you to read and he's not going to read anything. He's going to speak from his heart. It was very powerful. Please, let's listen to him and I'll be back. Thank you so much for your time.
Official speech prepared by my teams. I come to speak as an African. I was hesitant. You know, when you carry a message from a country that's a minister? Some things you can say, some things you can't. But I thought maybe, since we're African, we need to communicate, very honestly. Laura has been around since 2013. The situation. It's a responsibility for all of us. Depend on help? To feed our people. And I'm very sorry to say, I want to read the speech. But it's disappointing. What's happening in West Africa? I'm sure you have many meetings like this. Every year. It's the same. Things are heating up, and we're going to call on the AFD and our technical and financial partners. Our problem isn't money. Our problem is organization. It's not.
You know what? When I was listening to him, my heart is just rejoicing. At long last, people are speaking up about what is going on in Africa. That is not good. That is not acceptable. We have land, we have the youth that has no job, and that's why they are running away to Europe. Europe doesn't want them. Canada doesn't want them. America doesn't want them. And what are you doing as a leader, as a minister, to create a job for this youth? He said a lot of things. We'll come back to it. But when he said, I want to speak like an African, I said, yes, he wants to speak like ordinary person on the street. What are they thinking? What are they doing? Nowadays, the message is clear and loud, and it's going through every corner, every hole. And they have to listen. Otherwise, it will be too late. Please listen to him more, and I'll be back. Thank you so much for your time.
The approved amounts of money I've found exceed 400 million. 400 million for Senegalese. Can you imagine it now for the 15 Ecowas countries? We can't make the same mistakes every year and hope for more results. Have 51 million people. And in the ESMA of 5 years, the number is multiplied by 4. We need to review our methods. And that we're sorry to say openly and frankly. Allow me to talk a little politics. Young people in West Africa, particularly in Senegal, have raised their voices. Look at what happened in Guinea, etc., etc. It's time for Ecowas to assume its responsibilities with regard to what's happening in our countries, and to understand that it's up to us to feed our own people. We can no longer continue to rely on aid, and we must stop doing so. I'm not saying we don't need it, but it's like a starter to get the machine.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money going out of the country, going out of the continent. And that's West Africa alone, and that's one country. He said multiply it by 15. And what are we importing? Food. I tell you, when I'm in Ghana, sometimes I don't even know. I'm shocked amount of foreign food that we have on the ground. Where is our native food? Where is our local food? And they are buying it. Even though the exchange rate is high, they are buying it. And they are still screaming that it is hard. The economy is hard. What do you expect if you stop buying those foreign food? Those importing it will stop importing them. Eat your local food, the healthy ones. It's a shame. If Africa can solve their food security problem, I don't think we'll keep boring. I don't think the economy will be hard because what is going on in Nigeria now is because of food, cost of living. Cost of living is high everywhere, but when you cannot afford common food, then it's a big problem. Please let's listen to him. I'll be back.
1,070 billion CFA francs in foodstuffs. West Africa imports $30 billion in foodstuffs. If we do nothing, it's going to be 120 billion. Importing so much food means exporting jobs. May I repeat that? Importing food to feed our populations. Exporting jobs. Ghana, more than 300 million. Chicken. Guinea imports more than 50 million worth of chickens. Senegal imports over 450,000 tons of corn. Senegal imports more than 210,000 tons. Senegal imports more than 860,000 tons of wheat. Senegal imports over 347,000 tons of fruit and vegetables. And this is virtually the case in all West African countries. We don't need hundreds of conferences every year. Address the real issues. Senegal spends over 100.
That is a lot of money going out of poor countries in Africa, and that's just West Africa alone. Ghana, 300 million food a year. I wonder how much they get from the cocoa and the gold that they have been selling outside. It is too much. We have the resources, I mean, we have the land, we have people who are willing to farm. The government will not help them. I have friends who left Europe, America, who are farming in Ghana. And what? There's no officers that will come and help. And even if they go there, there's no one there, but they pay them, they give them motorbike to be going around. How? There's no motivation to farm. Chicken, they will import. Cow feet, they will import. Pig feet, they will import. Guinea fowl, they will import. Right now, they are into sausages, the huge ones. And we wonder why we are getting all those kind of diseases. Who is there? Who is there to monitor those meat that they are bringing, if it is good or not? Recently, there was one that they brought from, I think, Brazil, that wasn't good, and one country returned it all. Who are the people checking the conditions of these animals? Please let's listen to him more.
That's almost double. Powdered milk. Mali and Mauritania, similar situations. In my opinion, the CDA must improve its methods. And that we have the objectivity to say so. We need help. It can't go on like this. We're talking about storage. The CD took initiative. I saw the words to initiate. What about chickens? Individual countries are also taking initiatives. Aggregating. Small example given. 40 well-made 5,000-ton warehouses. Senegal. We can't import produce anymore. 40 stores of 5,000 tons. To imagine if the CDR erode. Mauritians, the country contributes with the support of technical partners, BOAD, Ebid, the African Development Bank.
How much will it cost a country to build a storage for food? Storage for food is not a priority to these our leaders. They would rather buy Porsche cars. So when they are going somewhere, 30, 60 will follow them. Win. Waste of time and money. That's what they want. Their priorities is wrong. The other day, just last weekend, I saw a lot of storages when we were driving past, and I was asking myself, how Africa can have one or two of these, and we don't have problems. We even import vegetables. Vegetables we import. Hey, Where are we going? Hopefully, this man will solve the problem. Hopefully. Please let's listen to him more.
Export credits are a problem that needs to be solved. I'm convinced it can be done. We import. The teams tell me that less say it's even bigger. But let's imagine that we stay on the basis of 100 million euros for milk powder. 300 million liters. 300 million liters with 55,000 dairy cows. Even if we encounter local cows. Senegal has proven it can be done with its Danipol program. Capable of a coup, they've imported 50,000 cows. Can you imagine the deserted conditions? Qatar can do it. Why can't we? You can't make the same mistakes over and over again. And hope for change. An appeal. At CAD. And that's not the minister talking, that's the young African talking. It's time to readjust our priorities. And if we say to ourselves that it's only Ecowas and
Yes, what he's saying about Senegal, I saw it during the end of the Ramadan. The president went to a farm and they bought a lot of goats, a lot of cows. They want to experiment. And then when it's good, they will buy more. He's saying that if Qatar can do it, if other countries can do it, then we can also do it. Why can't we imitate that? Only thing we imitate is democracy, and even the democracy, our one is democracy, not democracy. Why can't we imitate them?
problems, we're not saying that we won't be helped. Allow me to remind you of a little fact in 2019 when I returned to the sub-region as Vice President Finance of the Ecowas Bank for INSMA and Development. I mobilized 430 million to finance the fertilizers. Once again, thanks to our financial and technical partners. So 90 million was made to build hangars. Not a hangar has been built. One hangar has been built. We know our constraints. Today, 90% of these fertilizer traders. Let's use Balenci's problem. Our states may have problems of debt capacity. But what about Ecowas? When the charges settled problems with COVID, the problem was resolved. Financing agriculture. Land reforms. The CDA must prioritize this. The diaspora is investing heavily in Africa. It's much more than development aid. And all these levers? We can use them as we choose.
All he's saying is true, great advice, but I wonder if they will take it because, I mean, you remember one of our brother who went to the same pyramid, telling them the same thing, and they attack him. The problem is there, they know it, but they don't want to solve it. I wonder if they sleep at night. After all this, they will just go home and do nothing. Because if they are doing something, they will not be talking about this now. COVID was 4 years ago when it hit and borders were closed and people were not importing. We said, yes, this is the time. We need to wake up and do our own thing. Diasporans are going a lot to farm, but they are not helping them. Many African countries are not helping the diasporans to succeed so they can also benefit. I wish they will. I wish because they are going with, many of them are going with experience and with money. A lot of people will get a job, but the priorities is just wrong. He himself, he said he built a lot of poultry farm and he employed a lot of people. He will tell us. Let's listen more. Thank you.
And how many African countries have successful agricultural children? 20 years, what they've done. In 30 years, what they've done. How can you imagine a truck that leaves Morocco, drives 3,000 kilometers and comes to sell peppers here? There's a problem. It's not the minister talking, it's the young Africans talking. All these regional organizations, including Ecowas, have numerous seminars and conferences. Colombo saves money by using his seminars for building structures. Do you agree with me? Maybe it was surprising to see an Obama minister, but that's just the way it is. Right? And this shows that I didn't want to read that speech. But those who are going to prepare a very good.
I'm happy he's speaking from his heart. I'm happy that he's speaking as an African, a young generation who knows what is happening, and also someone who has traveled before and went back with experience and knows that the way we do it is wrong. It's not like that. I mean, a Morocco, a lorry will come with peppers, a whole lot. Yeah. Well, I should not be surprised because I said it before. Ghana, we import onions from Niger. We import onions from Niger. It's not bad if our land is not good for onions and they can produce it. We can also produce something and exchange it, like peppers, because we can produce more pepper in Ghana.
After making money, he even did the same thing at home. Kata. There are things that civil servants know how to do, and there are things they don't know how to do. The opportunity for Ecowas to rely on the private sector. President Observio openly stated his intention to create Nigerian billionaires, and he succeeded. I respect the ceremony. Enormous respect for the people of the CDO. Look at how many young Africans abroad, all of them. Why do we have problems when we like it so much? The problem isn't money. And if you'll excuse me for saying so openly, we can't continue to beg and feed our populations. Whenever times are tough, help will come.
Thank you, families, for watching up to this stage. I truly appreciate your time. Please leave comment. What do you think? I think there's hope. I think there's hope because there are a lot of new breed entry into these organizations, and hopefully they can turn the boat around and work something up by the grace of God. If this is your first time, please consider subscribing. My returning subscribers, new ones, those who are passing by, thank you so much. My members, those who are sharing the videos, thank you. I wanted to make it short, but it's not short, and I'm sorry about it because the video is 20 minutes over. I have to take some out. Thank you. I think there is hope.